Hello everybody, welcome back to the Midnight channel. This is Kuro, and today I'll be doing a little bit of a different video from the ones before. This will be a review video for Red Dead Redemption 2. Has been out for a little bit, I know. Just it takes some time for me to get the reviews out, especially I don't have time, but that being out of the way, so my review will be different from the ones other people do. This will be divided in 4 different sections. We're talking about different parts that I think makes a game complete. I will add up all the scores from every single one of them. Each one of them will have a score, and then we'll divide it, and that will give you the final score. So the first category will be story. This means everything from quest to side quest to pretty much the meat of the actual game. And the next point will be gameplay. This includes controllers, gameplay itself, and pretty much everything complements that. Next category, we'll be talking about performance, graphics, sounds, how does it feel, and last category will be fun. Did I have fun playing the game? Was it fun? Was the game exciting, fun? You name it. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. The beginning chapter of Red Dead Redemption 2 does an excellent job of basically putting you right in the action, not in the action in the sense of action that you will think, but in a little bit of story already happened before you even begin the game. Something happened that makes Arthur and his gang run away from the law, and this already sets up the mystery, or kind of like grabs your attention and makes you want to see what happened. And throughout the game you will try to find out. You do different quests with different people, and these people will give you a little bit more exposition, and this really presents a good way to build the game, because or the story rather, because doing all the different quests means you get to learn about the different side characters. All of them are fairly interesting. All of them have excellent side quests that gives you more story, not only about the main story, but also about themselves, their motivations, their drives, their will, what makes them, each and every one of them, unique. And that's something that I can very much appreciate in a game like this. This game is massively big, but for a game of its scale, being an open world game, it does good enough to keep you entertained and keep you kind of moving. But at the same time, because it is an open world, sometimes you can disregard the story for doing side missions and quests and just all the stuff that you can do. And I guess in a sense it loses the urgency that it needs to be done to drive you forward just a little bit. And yeah, but that's pretty much all I had regarding that. I think it was an excellent story. At the same time, it can feel a little bit cliche and a little bit predictable at times. It is a western, and as such you expect things to happen the way that they do, and of course they do. But there is a little bit of, mystery and everything, but it's mostly pretty straightforward. It does not bring anything new per se, but it's pretty solid narrative. It's nothing too bad, but nothing major. It's nothing out of the ordinary either. So in this section, I'll give the game a 9 out of 10. The game did a pretty good job of keeping me entertained. At the same time, it was nothing new, but it is definitely a good story. I don't have anything negative to say about it. It was pretty solid, and the quests definitely drive the story forward. Not just the main quest, but all the side quests and all the characters, the way that Rockstar build the game around the different characters, and just the world building in general. This game has a lot of world building, not just from the characters, but also all the different activities that you can do and everything. Did such an amazing job, and I want to say good job. 9 out of 10. I want to say one of the things that I'll just go ahead straight off the bat. Gameplay is the worst out of the 4 different categories I got here that I want to talk about. I have mixed feelings about this game regarding gameplay. In one hand, there's a lot of activities that you can do. There is so many things that are so engaging and so interesting, like hunting, like fishing, playing dominoes with your friends, or just winning. There's so many stuff that you can do in these games, and all of them are fantastic and engaging, and there's a lot that I enjoyed about this. At the same time, the gameplay and the controls are at times a disaster, especially when it comes to the way, because this game is really massive, and because this game tries to go out of the way into trying to be very realistic. I have the issue that at times the game struggles with its realism. I have a couple different examples here. Two of my biggest ones, or the biggest issues that for me was very annoying, very frustrating. One of them was I pick up the lady, and the lady basically she's like, hey, can you give me a ride to such and such town? I said, yeah, sure, let's go ahead. So I'm giving her a ride, and basically I run over a man with my horse. And she called me a murderer. She dropped off the horse, and she started running away from me. The guy that I ran over actually did not die, so he got off very upset, shot the lady, and I was like, okay, well, what just happened here? And that was funny. I actually laughed about that. But other examples actually a little bit similar. Another lady that I picked up, took her to a town, and I forgot that I had my mask on, because I had the mask. I guess it made me look suspicious or something. But one of the NPCs just created something out of nothing, and I got a wanted out of not a wanted, but wanted for something, and I was very frustrated. I was like, what's going on? Why is this happening? I'm just wearing a mask. That's just a stupid thing to be nitpicky about. And I have other examples like that. The controllers are a mess. You can point to people, you're gone with the same as you do to talk to them, and I'll accidentally shoot people at times because I am just trying to talk to them. This happens several times, not just once, many times. One time I rage quit because I was so frustrated with the controllers. I cannot believe that a game plays like this. And the last thing that I have to complain about is actually the gun aiming. For some reason, whenever you are trying to aim at something, it just kind of just like auto locks into something, and it's wrong. Sometimes that's not what you want to do. Sometimes you want to aim for the head, sometimes you want to aim for the leg, or different stuff. But the computer will automatically just aim to the chest, to the nearest thing that is moving. Sometimes it can be an animal that is running. Sometimes it can be one of the guys that you didn't wanna. You specifically wanted to shoot a different guy, but the computer just automatically will choose a target, and that can be frustrating, especially during gameplay, gunplay. Scenes where you're just shooting people and running and looting, and it can just be frustrating. It can take you out and it can kill you. But at the same time, like I've mentioned earlier, there is a lot of good stuff with this gameplay, specifically all the different side stuff that you can do, like hunting, the fishing, and all the different games that you can play. There's so much fun in there, but there are several things that have little things that upset me at times. So I am giving the gameplay and the controllers an 8 out of 10. I hope that the next Red Dead Redemption game, or Redemption game in general, can fix a lot of this stuff that I have issues with the gameplay. But again, this is the worst, easily the worst out of all the things that I mentioned so far. Alright, next up is performance. Now, performance is, like as I mentioned earlier, there'll be how the game looks, how the game sounds, how did it feel, how was everything. And I'll say overall the game performed really well. I played this game in a PlayStation Pro, and there was a little bit of an issue there that a lot of people discussed and talked about regarding frame rate and the way that it felt a little bit. But to me, the game looked really good. Easily one of the best looking games of the generation, for sure. One of the best looking games of this year by far. Rockstar made an amazing job doing this game. Everything looked fantastic. Night, day, thunder, lightning, everything just looked so well, really well animated. The different guns that you can get, the different clothing you can make, so much attention to detail, the hair, everything just looks fantastic. Even NPCs that are not anything special, just anything that you walk around and see them. I never saw the same character twice, so I will say maybe they are out there, but to me I just didn't see them. But everything just overall looked really good, and as far as sound, everything sounds fantastic. The galloping whenever you are far away from your mates, and they hear you can start hearing them far away, and you start shouting and all this stuff. So it's just overall a fantastic job with the sound as well. The only cons that I had to that is that the sound a little bit messes up a little bit sometimes when you are running around and somebody screams for help and it sounds like it's right at your ear, but it turns out that it's somebody a little bit far away. So I don't know if the game does that on purpose to kind of to grab your attention so you can hear that, or just something. I don't know what it is, but it's just that's the only thing that I have kind of against it, or maybe just something that I didn't really quite understand very well. But overall, like I said, the experience was great. The performance, I'll give a 10 out of 10. Good job, Rockstar. You did an amazing job with both the looks and the sounds of the game. Performed excellent. Okay, and next up is fun, and fun obviously means did I enjoy the game? And yes, I did. I enjoyed the game a lot. There's definitely a lot that the developers did in this game. As you can see, the amount of love and the amount of care that they put into this game. Every single bit of detail here is well paid off. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of activities to do, a lot of things to enjoy: hunting, fishing, the playing of the different games you can do, just the robbing, the cowboy, everything that is, it's just really well made. Everything is very well animated, and overall I really had a lot of fun. I can't tell you much more than that. It was definitely a good experience. You get every single minute of fun that you get for the $60 you paid for the game originally, at least for now, and it's definitely worth the $60 price if you haven't already. After all these reviewers that have reviewed this game even higher than I have, definitely this is an experience worth enjoying. This is an experience worth having. List, I am giving fun a 10 out of 10. Definitely an experience for you to enjoy and for you to have. If you haven't already purchased this game again, you definitely should pick it up. It should come up with some used ones. I know Black Friday is coming up around the corner, so if you haven't already picked it up, this will be a great time to pick it up. So we heard everything now. We heard story, gameplay, performance, and fun. So let's have it all together. I gave story a 9 out of 10. I gave gameplay an 8 out of 10, and I mentioned why. I gave performance a 10 out of 10, and I gave fun another 10 out of 10. So rounding it all up together, they'll come out to be a 9.25 out of 10. We'll just round that up and I'll say this is a 9 out of 10 game. A lot of people did say that this was the not only game of the year but also the game of the generation. I don't think it's the game of the generation. This is definitely a very fun and exciting game. There's a lot of mechanics that I like. There's a lot of stuff that I enjoyed about this game, but it's definitely things that you can do a little bit of improvement on. I definitely believe that this game has a lot of potential, and it has a lot of stuff that I really enjoy doing with the game. Hunting is very fun, doing the different games is very fun, the story is fantastic, the visuals of the game are phenomenal, easily the best looking game, or if not one of the best looking games of this generation for sure. The sound quality is up par with, I would say, one of the best games too. So definitely has a lot of good stuff, but again, as I mentioned earlier, gameplay was my biggest one, the biggest one that I had a lot of issues with. If not, this will definitely be a 10 out of 10 game, the best game of the year. But I mentioned earlier there are some stuff, so 9 out of 10. Well, thanks so much for watching this video. If you like it and if you agree, please like and subscribe. If you don't, please just let me know what you think differently. I would like to definitely discuss and see what the difference is of what you think you liked or what you think you didn't like about the game. Well, thanks so much for watching this video again, and I'll see you later.